Do you ever wake up, go through your morning routine, and feel like something's just not quite right? Like the closeness with your partner isn't what it used to be? If you're over 60, you might sense that the warmth, the intimacy you once felt so easily, seems a bit out of reach, even when you're trying your best. Here's a surprising reality. Some of the morning habits you've held on to for years, things you'd never think twice about, could be quietly chipping away at the connection you treasure. Aging comes with its challenges, but losing that special bond with your partner doesn't have to be one of them. With a few small changes to how you begin your day, you can bring back that spark and feel closer than ever. In this video, I'm going to share 4 morning routines that could be harming your intimacy after 60. Habits you're likely doing without realizing their effect. More importantly, I'll give you simple, practical steps to swap those routines for ones that strengthen your bond with your partner. These aren't overwhelming changes or drastic lifestyle shifts. They're gentle, doable adjustments that fit seamlessly into your life, designed to nurture the love and connection you want to hold on to. By the time this video ends, you'll have a clear, easy plan to start your mornings in a way that deepens your relationship and makes every day feel more meaningful. Let's start with the first routine that might be pulling you apart and what you can do to fix it. One morning habit that could be hurting your intimacy is speeding through your mornings like you're on a tight deadline. You know the drill. The alarm rings and suddenly you're brewing coffee, glancing at your phone, or rushing to get ready for the day. Maybe you're focused on an early appointment, answering texts, or just trying to keep up with a packed schedule. Mornings can feel like a sprint to get everything done. But here's the catch. When you're caught up in that frenzy, you're not truly present with your partner. Those precious morning moments when you could share a quiet glance, a gentle touch, or a quick conversation over toast disappear in the chaos. Over time, this lack of connection sets a distant tone for the day, leaving your partner feeling like they're not a priority. Consider my friend Linda, who's 66. She used to race through her mornings, making breakfast, checking emails, and planning her day while her husband Mark was still waking up. She didn't realize it, but Mark felt overlooked during those rushed mornings. He'd try to chat, but Linda was too distracted to really listen. It wasn't until Mark shared how much he missed their old, leisurely mornings that Linda understood the impact. So, she made a small change. Now, she sets aside 10 minutes each morning to sit with Mark, enjoy their tea, and talk about something light, like their day ahead or a shared memory. That simple shift has brought them closer, and Mark says he feels valued and connected again. So, how can you stop this habit of rushing? It's simpler than you might think. Try carving out a small window of time, just 5 or 10 minutes, where you and your partner can be together without distractions. Maybe it's sitting together with your morning coffee, or staying in bed a few extra minutes to talk. The key is to be fully there. Put your phone away, turn off the news, and focus on each other. Ask something easy, like, "What's something fun you want to do today?" Or share a small moment, like a kind word or a warm touch. These little actions create a ripple effect, fostering closeness that lasts all day. If your mornings are busy, try waking up just 5 minutes earlier to make this happen. It's a small effort for a stronger bond. What if your partner isn't chatty in the morning? That's perfectly fine. You don't need long conversations to make this work. A quick moment of connection, like a warm hug or a shared smile, can go a long way. The goal is to show your partner they matter, right from the start of the day. By swapping the morning rush for a moment of presence, you're laying the foundation for a more intimate, connected relationship. Let's keep this going as we explore the next routine, which is something so many of us do without realizing it's pushing our partner away. Now that you've got a way to slow down your mornings and create a moment of connection, Let's talk about another routine that might be quietly pushing your partner away, starting your day glued to screens. You know how easy it is to reach for your phone or turn on the TV first thing in the morning. Maybe you're checking the weather, scrolling through social media, or catching up on the morning news. It feels harmless, even productive, to stay informed or connected. But here's the truth. When your attention is locked on a screen, you're not fully present with your partner. Those moments when you could be sharing a laugh, a touch, or a kind word are swallowed up by notifications and headlines. Over time, this habit can make your partner feel like they're competing with your devices for your attention, and that distance can erode intimacy. Take my friend Robert, who's 70. Every morning he'd sit at the breakfast table with his tablet, reading news articles while his wife, Diane, sipped her coffee nearby. Diane would try to share something about her day, but Robert's eyes stayed on the screen, nodding absent-mindedly. It wasn't intentional, but Diane started feeling like she was invisible. One day, she gently told him, "I miss talking to you in the mornings like we used to." That was a wake-up call for Robert. He decided to try something different. He now leaves his tablet in another room until after breakfast. Instead, he and Diane chat about small things, their garden, a funny story, or even just the taste of their coffee. That simple change has made their mornings feel warmer, and Diane says she feels closer to him than she has in years. So, how can you break this screen time habit? It's not about ditching your devices entirely. Let's be realistic. Instead, set a boundary for the first part of your morning. Try a no-screens rule for the first 15 or 20 minutes after you wake up, or at least until you and your partner have had a moment to connect. Use that time to focus on each other instead. Maybe sit together with your tea or coffee and share a thought, like what's something you're grateful for today, or offer a small gesture, like holding hands or a quick hug. If you need to check your phone for something urgent, let your partner know, "I'm just checking the weather, then I'm all yours," and keep it brief. This shows respect for their time and presence. If your partner's also a screen user, suggest trying this together. It's easier when you're both on board. Even if your mornings are busy, you can make this work. For example, if you're someone who loves morning news, try saving it for after your shared moment. Maybe listen to the radio together while you make breakfast, turning it into a shared activity. The goal is to prioritize your partner over pixels, even for a short time. By doing this, you're sending a clear message. They matter more than your screen. This small shift can rebuild that sense of closeness, making your mornings feel like a team effort again. Now, let's move on to another routine that's surprisingly common and just as damaging to intimacy. The third morning routine that might be killing your intimacy is neglecting small acts of affection. After years together, it's easy to assume your partner knows how you feel, so you might skip those little gestures, like a good morning kiss, a compliment, or a warm touch. Maybe you're focused on getting the day started, or you think those things don't matter as much anymore. But here's the reality. Those small acts of affection are like oxygen for intimacy, especially as we age. When they're missing, your partner might feel taken for granted or emotionally distant, even if you don't mean it that way. Without those daily doses of love, the warmth in your relationship can start to fade, leaving both of you feeling disconnected. I saw this with my neighbors, Ellen and George, both in their late 60s. Ellen used to be the one to initiate affection, hugs, quick pecks, or saying, "You look nice today." But over time, she stopped, thinking George didn't need it after 40 years of marriage. George, though, started feeling unappreciated, and their mornings felt cold and routine. When they talked about it, Ellen was surprised. She hadn't realized how much those gestures meant. So they made a pact. Every morning, they'd each share one small act of affection. Ellen might say, "I love how you always make the coffee," while George gives her a quick shoulder rub. These tiny moments have brought back a sense of playfulness and connection they thought they'd lost. To change this habit, start small and intentionally. Pick one act of affection to share each morning. Something as simple as a hug, a kiss on the cheek, or a kind word like "I'm so glad I get to wake up with you." Make it genuine, not forced, and try to vary it so it feels fresh. If you're not used to this, it might feel awkward at first, but stick with it. You could even talk to your partner about it. "I want us to feel closer in the mornings. What's one thing you'd love from me?" If your partner isn't big on affection, start with something subtle, like a pat on the back or a warm smile. The key is consistency. Those small gestures add up, creating a foundation of love that strengthens your intimacy. If you're worried about time, know that these acts don't take long. A 10-second hug or a quick compliment can work wonders. You can even tie it to your routine, like giving a kiss while pouring coffee or saying something sweet while you brush your teeth together. By weaving affection into your mornings, you're showing your partner they're valued, which fuels emotional and physical closeness. These two routines, cutting back on screens and adding small acts of affection, are powerful steps toward a more intimate morning. Let's keep going with one more routine that's easy to overlook but can make a big difference. Now that you've got strategies to cut back on morning rush, limit screen time, and weave in small acts of affection, let's tackle the final routine that could be undermining your intimacy. Starting your day with a negative mindset. It's easy to wake up and immediately focus on what's wrong. Maybe you're stressed about a health issue, worried about the day's to-do list, or frustrated about something small, like a sleepless night or a stiff joint. You might grumble to yourself, or even share those complaints with your partner, thinking it's just venting. But here's the problem. When your morning begins with negativity, it sets an emotional tone that can weigh heavily on your relationship. Your partner might feel like they're absorbing your stress, or that their presence isn't enough to lift your mood, which can create an emotional gap that chips away at intimacy over time. I saw this with my friend Margaret, who's 72. She used to start her mornings by listing everything that felt off: her back pain, the neighbor's noisy dog, or the long list of errands ahead. Her husband, Paul, would listen quietly, but over time, he started feeling drained. He told her, "I want to start the day feeling close to you, but it's hard when we're focused on what's wrong." That hit Margaret hard. She hadn't realized how her morning complaints were affecting Paul. So, she decided to try something new. Each morning, she'd share one positive thought or intention, like, "I'm looking forward to our walk today," or "I'm grateful for this sunny weather." Paul joined in, and now their mornings feel lighter, with a sense of teamwork that's brought them closer together. So how can you shift away from a negative morning mindset? It starts with a small, intentional choice to focus on something positive, even if it's tiny. When you wake up, take a moment to think of one thing you're grateful for or excited about. It could be as simple as a warm cup of coffee, a kind moment with your partner, or the fact that you get another day together. Share that thought with your partner to set a hopeful tone. For example, you might say, "I'm really glad we get to have breakfast together today," or "I'm looking forward to seeing you smile later." If you're used to venting, try redirecting that energy. Maybe say, "I'm feeling a bit stiff, but I'm going to stretch and make today great." This doesn't mean ignoring real concerns. It's about choosing to start with light rather than shadow. If negativity feels hard to shake, try a quick morning ritual to reset your mindset. One idea is to take 5 deep breaths together with your partner, focusing on letting go of stress. Or keep a small notebook by your bed and jot down one positive thing each morning. It's a private way to reframe your thoughts. If your partner tends to be negative too, gently invite them to join you. Hey, let's each share one thing we're thankful for today. Even if they're hesitant, your positivity can be contagious. For instance, my cousin Ed, 69, started this with his wife, who was skeptical at first. But after a week of Ed sharing small, upbeat comments, she began joining in, and their mornings now feel like a fresh start. This shift doesn't take much time, just a minute or two, but it can transform the emotional climate of your morning. By choosing positivity, you're not just lifting your own mood, you're creating a space where your partner feels valued and connected. Combine this with the earlier habits, slowing down, ditching screens, and showing affection, and you've got a morning routine that nurtures intimacy instead of pushing it away. As we wrap up, let's take a moment to reflect. You don't need to overhaul your entire life to feel closer to your partner. These 4 routines, rushing through mornings, overusing screens, skipping affection, and starting with negativity, are habits you can change with small, consistent steps. Maybe you start tomorrow by setting aside 5 minutes to sit with your partner, putting your phone away, offering a warm hug, and sharing one positive thought. Those little moments add up, building a stronger, more intimate connection that makes every day feel special. You're not just aging together, you're growing closer, and that's something beautiful. I hope this video has given you practical ideas and a bit of inspiration to make your mornings work for your relationship. You don't have to do everything at once. Just pick one change and try it for a week. You might be surprised at how much closer you feel. If this resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Maybe share one morning habit you're going to try, or a story about how you and your partner stay connected. And if you found this helpful, please give it a like and subscribe for more simple ways to live healthier, happier, and more connected every day. Here's to mornings filled with love and closeness. See you in the next video.